Okay, so I'm going to use the iPad to create an instructional video from start to finish. And to do that, I'm going to use a program called Explain Everything. So let me go ahead and open that up for you. And I've already got some things that I've started here, but I'm going to start a new one. Now, I can start one by pushing this, and it will allow me to import photos, or it will also allow me to import something from iTunes or Dropbox, or if I sign in, I can import things from my G Drive. So if I have like a PDF file or a picture that I want to draw on, I can do that. I'm not going to do that for this one though. I'm just going to create a new project. So I'll go ahead and hit the plus instead of the plus with the document here. And then I'll select my color. And then what I want to do to kind of give this a personal touch, I'm going to hit this little square here. And I'm going to select new video. This is inserting an object. So I can insert pictures, photos, files, sounds, browser. But I'm going to insert a new video. So I select that. And if I touch this with two fingers and squeeze, I can move it around a little bit. So I'm going to move it right over here. And then I'm going to hit this little turnaround button so that I can get my front-facing camera. So now I've got access to my front-facing camera so that when I do my instructional video, I can actually kind of have the personal touch here. Okay? So when you do your instructional video, you can move things around with the little finger thing here. If you have objects on the screen, so you just slide it around. You can write, so I'm going to go ahead and select the writing tool, and I'm just moving my finger around, writing all over the screen here. You can kind of see my hand move a little bit when I do that. The button below that allows me to insert things into there if I want to, like an arrow. I can move around, so I just tap that, or I tap and hold it, and it gives me some options. Same thing with the pen. If you tap and hold, you can change the width of the pen if you want to change the width of your pen. Here is text. If you want to enter text, hello. And then if you, like I said, if you wanted to, instead of entering text, oh, and by the way, you can move it around, and then when you're happy with it, you click the green arrow. And then here is how I added the video that you see down here. If I touch this X and then touch something on the screen, I can make the whole thing go away. This is kind of like a pointer, so if I want to touch something or point to something without actually writing, I use the pointer, and it even notices when I'm using more than one finger, it'll notice that. And then this button here just allows you to copy and duplicate different objects or group objects together. I don't really use that much, so I'm just going to get rid of that. This button, I'm not really sure what this button does, to be honest with you. Like I said, that one lets you move objects around. I don't know what that does. Oh, that is an undo button, so undo, redo. This, if you want to zoom in, you can use that button. And then here, you can kind of adjust what you see as far as the tool options. Notice you can change the color of your writing tool down here. If you have multiple slides, like if you imported a PDF with several pages, you can go back and forth to several slides. And then when you're ready, you can go ahead and hit record and watch what happens. So I hit record, and you can see the timer starting to go, and I can move things around, and I can write blah, 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 blah. And then I'm going to hit pause. So I hit the pause button. And now I'm going to play it back, and you probably won't hear too much because my volume is not very good, but I'm going to hit the playback. So I hit record, and you can see the timer starting to go. Okay, so basically what happened was this recorded everything that I wrote as I wrote it. If I move things around, it'll record me moving things around. Whatever you want to do. So let's go ahead and actually create a video. So I'm going to get rid of all this stuff. So I'm going to hit the red X, and then I'm just going to start tapping on things and getting rid of them. So tap on that, get rid of it, tap, and whoops, tap on the X and then get rid of it, tap on the X and then get rid of things, okay? So now I've got a blank slate, and I'm going to go back to the beginning. Oops, I guess I rewound to the beginning. That put everything back again. You know what? I'm just going to start a new page. So I'm going to start a new page. So I click this arrow. and it started a new page. Well, it should have started a new page. Oops, I had to click the plus button to start a new page. So when you're ready, go ahead and hit record. Like I said, if you want to put your face in there, you can, and then you hit record. So I'm going to do that now, and I'm going to just, hit the pen button here, and here's how you solve a problem. Blah, 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 blah. So you do this, you subtract, blah, 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 blah. And then if you want to point to something, you point to something, blah, 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 blah. And then I hit pause. And then if I'm done, I can go ahead and push one of these buttons down here. So if I push this one, it will allow me to export an image. But if I push the one that looks like a movie, it will allow me to export the movie. Now, there are several ways to do it. You can send it directly to YouTube. If you sign into your YouTube, your Gmail account, you can have other options as to where you want to send it and how. Like you can send it to iTunes and then plug it into your computer and let the computer do all the work of creating the video. You can save it for later. If you hit this arrow here, you just type in a name, save your project for later. If you push this button, it's going to take you back to all your projects. I'm going to go ahead and save it as a movie. So I'm going to select camera roll. And then it says, do you want to let it send you things, blah, blah, blah. So I click OK. And this video is not going to take very long to make because there's not much to it. The only drawback to explain everything, if you're doing it on your iPad, is that you need to keep the iPad open and you need to keep this app open while you're doing it. So for some very long videos, it might take 15 or 20 minutes to create the video, and you can't explain everything while that's happening. You just got to let it go. You can't use the iPad for anything else. Unless you have a Mac, there are some ways around it, but I'm not really going to get into that. So this created my video for me. And okay, it's not letting me create the video because I didn't give it permission. So I'm going to hit the home button, and I'm going to go to my settings. And let's see, under explain everything, if I scroll down, explain everything, I need to give it access to photos. So now it can see my photos and it can write to my photos. So I'm going to double tap. I'm going to go back here and I'm going to open up the project that I had. And I'm going to try it again. So let me go ahead and just hit the movie button again, save to the camera roll. And this time it should actually let me save things to the camera roll. Like I said, it wasn't doing that before. So notice it's actually going through the whole process of everything that you wrote, everything that you did. It's replaying that for you. So actually it's recording the movie that I didn't want it to record. So that's kind of interesting. So I'll have to be careful. If you have multiple pages of recording, make sure that you select whether you want it to record every page or just one page. It will give you that option, but I actually didn't do that. I had it record every page, so it also recorded that first page that I did. But I'm not really worried about it because I'm not really making a movie here. So now I'll click OK. Now it's saved to my camera roll. Now the cool thing about that is if you hit the home button, if it's on your camera roll, it's available to other applications. So you can open it in iMovie, which I'm going to do in just a minute. But before I do that, I want to show you one other really kind of fun app. Oh boy, that phone is really going to make me happy here in a minute. So I'm going to go to Action Movie. That's just one of many fun apps that you might see. And you can actually paste special effects in with Action Movie. So I'm just going to select Spider Strike. And I'm going to hit record and just point it around the room and hold it steady. And so I hit record. And then when it turns green, you can unhit record. And then go ahead and play. So it's going to make a movie for me. You can fiddle with it a little bit. But I'll hit play. And just point it around the room and hold it steady. And it puts a little spider on my screen. So that was kind of cool. So that's called Action Movie. I'm going to save that to my camera roll. So don't want to rate that now, but I'm going to save that to the camera roll. Okay. And I guess that did it. It seemed like it was pretty quick. but supposedly it did it. Maybe because it wasn't very long. Okay, now I'm going to hit the home button again. So now I've got two things in my camera roll. Some other really cool programs that I just don't have time to show you right now. Toontastic is a fun one. You can create cartoons and save them to your camera roll. Now, once you save, and another one that's kind of cool is there's one called Funny Faces. I guess I don't have it on here, but that's kind of a cool one too. The neat thing is, once you've saved all this to your camera roll, now you can go into iTunes. So let me find, or iMovie. So let me find iMovie. And now I can start to paste things together. So here's my instructional video. So I'm going to go to Projects, and I'm going to hit plus. So I'm going to make a new movie. And then, there's so much that I could do with iMovie. I really don't want to get into all of it right now. I'm just going to select one of these. So I just go ahead and hit Create. And then this comes up. And then, I can just go ahead and take all my, I can take all my recently added here. And it's got all the things that I've already recorded. So I can just like touch this and double tap it and it'll go down in there. And then if you want to, I can scroll back to the beginning of this thing. Maybe I want to introduce my video with a giant spider. So I'll just touch that and just drag. Actually, it won't let me drag it, but I'll touch it and hit this little arrow here, and it just put it right in front. And then I'm going to scroll this way. And then, so now I can hit play, and you can see you got your introduction with your little giant spider. And then, you can trim some of this out. There's ways to do that. And then you jump right into your instructional video. And so, there's a lot you can do. And then when you're ready, you go ahead and hit the little gear button here. You can add some different filters and things. And then I hit the back button. And, then I can decide by hitting this button how I want to share it. Do I want to send it to iCloud? Do I want to, share it in one of these ways? There's YouTube, whatever you want to do. I'm not going to save this movie. It's kind of a goofy, messed up movie. But you could just notice you can record things with Explain Everything. You can use lots of different, there's all kinds of special effects things out there. There's Toontastic. There's that movie maker special effects thing, action movie that I showed you. You save them to your camera roll, paste them all together. You can make a really cool movie out of them. So hopefully you found this helpful.